Hit
Hello. What?
the button.
It's been hit.
Excellent.
Yes.
There's half the battle here.
And knowing is the other half.
And remember when we started this and the YouTube, because the internet gets more stable and faster as years goes on. At the start, I was like, oh, the bit rate, and oh, is it going to work? And oh, now she's like, yeah, high bit rate. Here we go, kicking butt. It's good. Much nicer. Yes. You sort of realize how much you rely on not just having internet, but speed.
PJ Turan. I was going to knee jerk and say disco, but then I remember Picard. Oh, man. Yeah, it's going to be a fun list, a fun discussion for sure.
There may or may not be a debate. There may or may not be no debate.
I think we'll have a few that match up. The thing is, we're going to say them just based on our gut reactions and our memory, and then we're going to peruse the IMDb and the titles and kind of go from there.
So in fact,
this might be. I don't want it to be longer than 2 hours, though. I don't want to talk too much.
Well, there isn't that. No, that's not how this. But it's interesting that I'm not expecting our list to maybe change by the end. Haven't debated it. Because I certainly went in, I think I said to you, gut reaction, just do the 10, there you go. So I'm expecting this may or may not. I reserve the right to change it as I go. Because you might put, I remember that moment, that was a season 1
I'm
moment.
not changing. I can't change mine, so you're not changing yours.
You can change it.
Going over the list.
No,
I can't.
You could.
You've already got. You got my pictures.
I do, but all I have to do would be, That's it. That's all the effort needed, Stuart. It's not hard.
Nope. No, I'm going with my gut reaction. I'm not changing it. That's cheating.
Okay, so I'll just change your number 1 and your number 10, and then we're fine. And there we go. God, what if I did that 1 week? Just very controversial. Just changed the scores. I don't think.
Sean Doe's like 2 hours. Damn, that's a long conference call. You obviously haven't been around very long. All our lives are pretty much 2 hours or longer.
Yeah, it's remarkable that we're reviewing a 40-minute episode of Star Trek. It just came out as 2 hours. It was extremely consistent. It was kind of the point where we weren't trying. It's just that's how long it took down to break down that sort of content. It was really, really efficient, actually.
Yep. All right. Well,
just framing some stuff up.
I know first super chats, strike yet. Come on, guys.
Oh.
Strike in there at the first super chat, somebody.
Well, we did just start, though, in fairness.
This is true, but we already have 30 likes. Well, 29. So the goal is 50. Hit that like button if you haven't already. There's 33 of you here, so... And we had 14 before we even started, so...
And what do you think when
7 people waiting.
Oh, yeah. And what do you think when I put this idea to you, then? Because it's kind of a...
At first I was like... And then I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. This will be fun.
Okay. That's good to hear. That's so nice.
We should do it with last season, too, at some point.
Oh. Yeah, that'd be.
Olivia Julius gets the first super chat strike with $10. So thank you so much.
That's a great
ladies and gentlemen, Trekyards is committed to the best Trek content on YouTube. Please remember that this lists are their opinion. Feel free to share your opinions, but remember the wrong or right list. But remember the right or the wrong right list.
There is no right or wrong list. I think she means.
No.
Yeah, yes. And absolutely, this is like I said, gut reaction. And I do, there may be probably some level of where you only grew up. I don't necessarily know if that quite. I think there's a definite quality differential between these ones. I think it's less objectified, but there's certainly the worst of each season is very radically different in quality. I think that like where they fall down is very different. And the averages, it'd be once we eventually, at some point, Stuart, review all of the Trek series, we can actually go in and say technical score based on a completely episode 1 episode thing. Say, okay, well this, if we give 1 to 10 a score of 1 to 10, then we add them all up and say, well, actually TNG had the best season. That'd be an interesting equation of saying, well, actually, what is the real world broken down score version? I'd be interested to see.
Dan Ban, how many Trek shows are included here? 11. There are 11 Trek shows. One is an honorable mention for me, which we'll start with once Samuel shares. We'll lead into that, and we'll go from there. So,
but just to go through them, although obviously we've all lived with them, you've got obviously Star Trek Picard, Star Trek Discovery, animated series, Prodigy, Short Trek Season 1, because technically counts, it's called Season 1, TNG, Voyager, Enterprise, Lower Decks, TOS, and DS9. It's all the shows. There's actually now 11. It's really useful, and if you take out Short Treks, it's exactly 10. So there's 10 mainline Trek shows. Very good time to do this sort of show. And we are including Prodigy with the caveat of there's only been 5 or 4. But, you know, there's only 4 Short Treks. So, I mean, you know, the bar is all over the place in terms of, well, can you judge one for the other? Yeah. Anyway. Gut reaction, guys.
Yes, so go share. Actually, hold on. BJ Turon, $5. For best, I say TOS followed by Lower Decks, then TNG, because TNG had big shoes to fill. That is where Disco fell short as first Trek in a long time. Well, there you go. All right, well, you go share, and I'll talk to these people about super chatting and stuff. And yeah.
All right, see you in a minute. Bye.
Ooh, yeah. So super chats is, as you saw, a great way to get your opinion out there, your thoughts, your feelings on things. Hey guys, we want to read them, and we do read them all on the air. So if you want us to read what you have to say on the air, super chats are the best way to do that. So please consider doing so. We would greatly appreciate it. Absolutely. So yeah. Other than that, yeah, I'm just hoping this is going to be a fun discussion. It definitely will be. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, super chat your thoughts and ideas. We want to hear your opinions as well, guys. Very important for us. And it does help the channel, supports the channel. Even hitting that like button. We are 40 likes right now. I'm sure we can get to 50 really easily. Hit that like button. Simple and clean and easy and free. You can also send a PayPal to Trekyards. All the information for that is in the description of every video. Just send it to trekyards@hotmail.com and let us know in the regular chat that you sent it, and then we can read your comment or question or list via the email from PayPal. So you can do that as well. Also check out our Teespring and TeePublic stores down below. TeePublic store has some really great stuff and goodies. So if you want to check that out, we'd really appreciate that also. So yes, lots of ways to help us out. We just got a new member. John Doe has joined the channel at the rank of Commander, which is amazing. So thank you so much. Those channel memberships mean a lot, and it's a monthly way to support us as well. So if you want to check out that join button down there, make sure you're subscribed, obviously. Do all those regular things. Hit that like button and click the bell notification icon to all, but click the join button as well to see what you can, what tier you might want to sign up at. If you do want to help us on another monthly basis way, there is Patreon/Trekyards. You can head over there, and it's another monthly subscription type service where, you know, you can just support your favorite YouTubers and stuff. So if you want to do that, please consider doing so. We would really appreciate it. And just being a part of the conversation, just joining us for the lives and actually chatting amongst yourselves in the chat. Always fun to see, always good to see the interactions. We have a fantastic community here, a lot of regulars, and we really welcome everybody to come and just chat away, whether it's to us directly via super chats or, you know, just amongst yourselves in the regular chat. It is a great community, and we really value having that and having grown that community, because we do pride ourselves on having a good bunch of people here. So there you go. And Sam will be back in half a second here. See, there you go. BJ Turon, member for 14 months of the rank of Commander. Oh, thank you so much.
Well, that just makes me realize how long we've been doing this. If he's been there for 14 months, how long we've been doing this for?
Yeah.
So long.
Best first episode was DS9 setup whole series story. Well, yes, best episode for first opener, I guess, maybe. That's another live top 10 we could do at some point.
Although, can I just say, Stuart, do you like the fact that I did the TWOC movie L-Cars just for you today, Stuart?
Yes, I did notice that, and I really appreciate it.
Yes.
We need to see more of it. We don't see it very often. John Doe has joined the channel at the rank of Commander, so welcome aboard, Commander.
I can't boss you around, but I can talk to you in a way that shows equal power, and then we argue, and it's one step.
And you bump it up to a few more dollars a month, and you can boss him around. It's all fine.
It's true.
Mark Davies, member for 2 months at the rank of Commander. Hey. So thank you very much, Mark. For me, it has to be DS9 for the top spot. For a first season, dude. Oh, okay. These lists are going to be fun.
And Smart Smears, good. Yes, welcome to. And in fact, I've got an interesting poll straight away.
Yeah. 7 more likes, guys. Oh, this will be a fun discussion. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. While you're doing that, I'm just going to launch into my honorable mention. Unless you want me to wait.
Yeah, give me another minute.
Fine. Ozzy, Deep Space Nine, The Way of the Warrior is the best. The Way of the Warrior is where DS9 gets good.
Yes. That was season 1. Holy shit. Whew.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it wasn't. I have things to say about the first couple seasons of DS9, as you guys know. And DS9 is my favorite Star Trek series. So there's that. And Shannon Murphy is here. That is great to see you, Shannon. She's all worried that Voyager is going to be so bad, so low on the list. But she might be surprised. Who knows? John Doe says Voyager had the most variety and uniqueness of stories in season 1. Sergeant Montgomery, I'm reserving top pick for season 1 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Can't do that. Not yet. Be included here.
That's fine.
But yeah.
Just trying to word it in a way that makes people understand.
In the limited amount of characters you have available, yeah. You're missing some captains, as people have mentioned on Facebook. There's no Archer. And I'm like, well, that's pre-Federation, I guess.
And also, only so much room, you dickheads. Come on.
And we need Freeman. We need...
Go away. Not you, obviously.
I don't call people dickheads.
Well,
no, a lot of people dickheads.
It's a stupid question.
Well, there are people on Facebook, so...
Yeah. I thought it was quite good. I thought it was quite good because I distinctly got their first season versions. Like that's very conscious of their first season equivalencies.
There you go. Captain Ron Phillips, $2. Does Trekyards first year count? LOL, you're number 1. Maybe for Star Trek YouTubers, sure. Somebody needs to do a list of the top Star Trek YouTubers first year or something.
Okay, boy, I'm going to absolutely use the characters here, but I think I've got it. Okay. So this poll is very specific. So I'm just interested to know where we get here, because I think personal opinion is going to be quite powerful in this live, which is A-okay. So, is your favourite season of Trek hands down better than your second option? As in, whatever is your gut reaction, yes, that's my favourite. Is your second favourite right there, hard, almost the same, or no, that one is clearly the best? So is a clear winner, or is top 2 close?
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't tell you which one's which, it tells you how clear the margins are. You did honourable mention. Let me just get that lined up. I've got under control. Okay, Premiere, it is not very lined up at all, but people can see it. So start talking about Stuart. What is your honourable mention? Your 11th favourite.
My 11th favourite and honourable mention is Star Trek Shorts, or Star Trek Short Treks, sorry. Because there was a lot of potential there. It was a great idea to do short little things that they could film quickly, but it would have been great if they would have included different eras. They could have had... Bring back Jonathan Frakes as Commander Riker for like a short 10-15 minute, something on the Enterprise D. Like something like that would have been fantastic, or the Enterprise E or something. It should be an anthology series, and I don't know why they stopped doing it, because I really kind of enjoyed the shorts.
Well, they were a marketing tool that didn't work, so they thought we'll just focus on the main stuff. But yeah. It makes more sense now, though, when they've got so many shows in production. More. Now's the time to do it.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree. I think, there's potential there with Prodigy and everything, actually. So please, bring it back. Mix it up for us, leading up to a show. Have a Strange New Worlds 1 or 2 prior to the show coming out. So that might be kind of neat. Well, that might give away too much of the aesthetic and stuff right away, but depends how they do them, right? So lots of potential. Wish there was more of them, and I did enjoy a few of them, so there you go.
Although when would they be released? Because they've got shows every single week for 137 weeks.
Don't know.
Yeah.
Do you have an honorable mention?
I do. Well, yeah. I mean, we had 11. My honorable mention is. Didn't actually load it up. Oh yes, my honorable mention is the animated series, because I don't remember it enough to judge it. We only ever had maybe 3 episodes on VHS when I was young, so I never watched them properly, and I've seen them all, but not properly, and I've never gone back to watch them since, so I can't review it enough to call its quality into question or not. So, I'll mention because I can't review it properly. All the other ones I have more memory of, so. Easy reason, but fair.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, let's get into this list. Let's dig into the meat and potatoes of this episode. And by all means, guys, share your thoughts on our choices in this with the super chat along the way. That'd be amazing. Be part of the conversation. And we have 50 likes now. Let's aim for 75 is the next goal. So.
And if you want $5, makes all the difference. So, Stuart, what is your 10th favorite or most least favorite, depending how you look at it?
My least favorite or worst, I guess, would be Picard. Clearly.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Picard was just awful for so many reasons. There was so much lead up and build up to it, and so much excitement for it, and so many great ideas bouncing around in our heads, and even Red Letter Media's take on it. Picard Galaxy would have been fantastically, that would be awesome to see. So I mean, everybody had these preconceived notions of the character and what things could be, and they really just spat in our face, punched us in the nose, and kicked us while we were down, and really kind of destroyed a very strong, amazing character.
More than one.
Well, more than one. Yeah. But the one that the series is named after, the way it was handled, that he didn't even know it was what the end of the season was until right before, was dumb. It was mishandled. It should have been all planned out from the beginning, and it just wasn't. And even him being on board for it and saying he's willing to come back and, got some good idea. It was fantastic. It was great. And it was such an amazing announcement.
And the trailer was fantastic. We were so hyped from the trailer. It looked so cool.
Yeah. It just fell so flat. I mean, we got good characters like Rios.
That's the only good character we got out of that show was Rios.
Yeah. And the Picard Data stuff, some of it was it was good to see Data back, even though it was kind of mishandled. But other than that, Picard is by far the worst series or season 1.
It's also different than every other season because they're just going to undo everything and it's just going to move on. It's going to completely abandon that season. So every other show kind of build upon it, but you can tell they're just going to throw that away and just start again. Because Discovery, they didn't, because they had the Mirror Universe, they had the Spore Drive, they had everything kind of forcibly stayed along. But this one, they're just going to move straight off and, it won't mean anything in the grand scheme, really.
Well, before we get into yours, we got a super chat. 2 of them, actually. Oh, no, just one, sorry. Jarzia, $5. Well, Gut Instinct and subject to revision, 10, Picard, 9, the animated series, 8, Discovery, 7, TNG, 6, DS9, 5, TOS, 4, Prodigy, 3, Enterprise, 2, Voyager, and 1, Lower Decks. So there you go. That's his.
The gauntlet has been thrown. Yeah.
That was weird. Can you still hear me?
Can't see you, though.
Can't see me, though. That was really weird.
Now I can't see you.
What the hell is happening? Hold on. Just shut the fudge up.
Oh, I
can't see me.
Yeah, I can see you now. Would you eat fudge right now? Is that what you're saying?
Sure. I'm not moving though.
You're on mine. But you're welcome to call me back if you wanna get it working again.
I'm gonna call you right back.
Alright. And there he goes. Sorry guys. Oh, okay. I don't make a joke. He's that quick.
I still can't see me. What the hell's wrong with Skype?
I mean, you're fine with me. Oh dear.
Okay, that's okay. I'll just go like this then. I just won't see myself. That's fine.
Try turning your camera on off again one more time.
Hold on. Let me do this.
Let's see. What
Do you want to start talking about yours? Well, I'm messing with this.
I can, sure. So my number 10 is Discovery. Because it just kind of fails as a first season of a show, especially as we've now totally rebooted away from it. Really, no, it's the, you know, it's a cluster F of concepts, of ideas. It's half reboot, half canon defining piece, sort of half Kelvin aesthetic with that Kurtzman. It's trying to be everything except the show it's meant to be. It's fighting tooth and nail to be something else apart from what it has to be. And as such, it feels horribly disingenuous. The plot is broken. Obviously, it was, you know, considering it was rewritten and messed around with so much, it makes sense, but that doesn't detract from its problems. It has plot holes every other episode, pretty much. The entire reason for the sarcophagus ship is insane. The Mover stuff's fine, but it also breaks the Lorca character entirely at the end, and it wastes the Burnham character and it undoes the Saru character, and it's just an absolutely terrible first season of Star Trek, with very little redeeming quality. I mean, I actually don't want to watch the season again. I've done it. I watched it. The second time was a genuine chore to watch for a review. It was just hard to watch. It was so unenjoyable. And there's one episode that's good, and that's the Mud one. Like, actually good episode. And that still includes Mud violently murdering someone again and again, viciously and gruesomely, which is really bad, like graphic and horrible. That's the only good, like,
so that's season 1?
Yes. Yeah, it's the only episode. That's the only truly good episode. The mirror ones are okay, but they get bad at a certain point. I didn't show the mirror defiant, except for the things they could have done. But just a really, really bad season of Star Trek, and the worst first season. And the fact they've now rebooted 4 times away from it shows everything they ever had in that season they've walked away from. So, yeah, terrible. As a first season.
Yeah. It did have a rough road, though, because we hadn't had Trek for so long, and they were going back to this pre-TOS idea. So, I mean, people were expecting certain things, and they just really didn't. They didn't want, well, because of Brian Fuller, unfortunately.
It was doomed to fail from the start, from the concept. Like, it was just a bad idea going in. It
was a good idea. It was just with Brian Fuller's directives, it was just redesigning everything and making it not a reboot or a reimagined thing. That was an issue. And then they had to pick up the pieces over the course of 2 seasons. So, yeah.
Hands down.
Dementia, $10.
Ooh.
Thank you so much. The worst episode of any Star Trek series is in the first season, in my opinion. First season of which?
I think all. I think it just means in generality. I think the average is lower, yes, but there were real stinkers in every show. Just like, why is that in existence? Because they're just misfires. But I guess in proportion,
we got 24 episodes. We got 24 chances to make one huge move.
And Carlos, they already started filming the show before he left, so he's still there at the start.
Yeah, but he already had the directors. The ships were designed. The costumes were designed. The Klingons were designed.
Yeah, everything visually was
yes,
him.
He left. He left before it started, and unfortunately, everything was built and done. So
and his first 2 scripts, which they couldn't change, so he was still like leaving as that happened. Then they rewrote episode 3, etc. So yes. Cool. What's your number 9 then, Stuart?
Ooh, my number 9 is Discovery.
For
all the reasons we just mentioned. I don't hate it. I do enjoy watching it if I'm just enjoying watching some entertainment. As soon as I put on my "This is Star Trek" hat, I have a little bit of a problem. I don't mind thinking it's the Discoverse, it's the Disco Universe, reimagined thing. I'm fine with that. That works for me. But as a Prime, it just does not work. Sorry, just not my thing. But I can enjoy watching it. I do like a lot of the things in it, some of the characters, a lot of the visuals, but overall, as a Star Trek series, just not good. Yet I'd rather watch this. I'd rather watch season 1 of Discovery than season 1 of Picard. So there's that. Yeah.
There you go.
BJ Turan, $10.
Ah, thank you.
First 15 minutes of Disco was good, except non-canon art design. I love Giorgio and Burnham on the desert planet. Love Mud episode because I wanted to see them all die by the time. By that time, go Mud, go. Except for Lorca, he was like one of the best characters. He's the one person you die 57 times or whatever. But yeah.
And Avipad says Discovery's first season still better than TNG in my opinion. We haven't seen TNG in a long time because its season 1 is definitely better than season 1 of Discovery.
Yeah. Cool. All right, so what's your number 9, sir?
My number 9 is Picard, because obviously we have to reverse that role for us. It couldn't be much higher. Yeah, so
I was worried. I was worried when it was in 10. I was like, oh my god.
Well, no, because there's actually moments of enjoyment in this season for me versus Discovery. There really is very few, and the atrocities of art design in Discovery are over half of what it is. Whereas Picard, the Vesperine is fine, the Zhang He is fine, the Roman ships are fine. There's there's the stuff's not as objectionable. The costume design's fine. Borg, Seven design's fine. So it's a lot more. Compared to Discovery, there's a lot more what we needed in the season. We do see Enterprise D, we do see the Stargazer. There's elements to it, but certainly it's plot hole filled. The characters are unlikable to the core for most of them. The poorly thought out Raffi doesn't make much sense. Gerard doesn't make a lot of sense. Sevens was brutally, horribly taken apart. Whoever invented Elnor was just not a Star Trek fan. A person should be dead 1,000 times over. It's just a show that is literally any other sci-fi show except Star Trek, with a Star Trek skin on it, because the laws of the Trek universe aren't necessarily applying. Just simple stuff. But the Rios stuff is good. The Sung stuff is interesting. There are still moments of that was a cool concept with a nice thing. There's just so many other problems with it, but it is, and episode 1 is still pretty good still. As a piece of TV, because that the glee in our eyes and our hearts when watching it, and the data stuff is still heartwarming. Because it's just Nemesis 2, but it's still handled well for what it is. And Patrick does have some good scenes. There's a lot of bad scenes as well, and obviously the seeing Riker and Troy as an episode is very good. It's not as good as the Mud episode because it's Mud episode is more of an actual episode, but the other one's better written probably. But then if Thaddeus hadn't died, it would have been better. But that's obviously the dramatic core. But yeah, it's close-ish, but there's more enjoyment in this one for me than the other one, which I can watch this as Star Trek and just be sad about Picard. The other one you can't really enjoy as being Star Trek. 'Cause there's so many things that are just wrong, So yeah, and these bottom two are both they rewrote the stories and the scripts and the endings and the middles as they were going. That's a big part of why they fail so miserably, because they were chopped and changed for reasons at the time, and that's such a shame because you need coherent storytelling.
All this talk of Discovery and Picard makes me want to have a drink, so I'm having a drink.
Just saying. Yes.
This is just like the worst of it. We're gonna get into better stuff in a minute, but
yes.
I feel sick right now. So.
And guys, keep clicking on the poll. 49 votes is the question of: is your favorite season or favorite series of Trek much better than your second favorite? Is there a distinct winner, or are they actually quite close? And I'm happy to say that only 38% is a distinct victory. 62% say they're actually pretty close, which is nice. That the top tier is actually relatively top tierian. Okay, so now we're past the newest of the new Treks. Now comes they're always going to be our bottom two because they're the worst overall quality. Let's number 8 then.
Hi. Oh, you're asking me what my number 8
is?
Yes. Sorry, you cut out for a second there, so I didn't hear that part.
What's your number 8?
I was actually quite worried that Prodigy was going to be in your low end here. because it's not. It feels like Star Wars. But anyway, here we go. No, my number 8. Sorry. Moving on. My number 8 is DS9.
Oh my god.
DS9 season 1 is fucking atrocious. And I would never tell anybody that's not a fan of Star Trek to watch it ever until they've seen seasons 3 on, and then go back and revisit it, because I hate season 1 of DS9. There's so many bad episodes. The characters are kind of all over the place. There's no it's just sorry guys, DS9 is my favorite Star Trek series, but it is number 8 on my list. So I mean, we've got Move Along Home, we've got the Storyteller, I think, is in season 1. Just some really atrocious episodes that I can recall off the top of my head. I haven't even looked at what the list is right yet, but I can't stand season 1 and 2 of DS9. It's a rough ride. Unless you know what happens to the characters and you're a big Star Trek fan, it's hard to stay engaged and enjoy it.
Well, it does help if you pre-care about the characters, because then you're watching it with all the hindsight built in.
Yeah, and it took me forever to watch DS9. I would see the occasional episode here and there when it was on TV, and I was always the same fucking episodes, which were the worst. And I could never get into it. Never wanted to, until I met Sylvia. I only met her like 12 years ago to finally end up watching the entire series, because she told me I needed to. So I'm like, sure. And I watched it and I loved it. And it's my favorite series now. But season 1 and 2, that's a hard pass for me, man.
And there's some good stuff in the pilot, but there's some garbage in the pilot too. Just take a lot of the Majoran stuff right out.
There is good stuff in season 1, but as a whole, no. And season 2 started to see little glimmers of light here and there, and then season 3 it went low. So, yeah, sorry.
And it was kind of a reboot. It was kind of a reboot in the sense in season 3 with the Worf thing, kind of Discovery was, but also it was building upon the groundwork laid out. So it isn't a reboot per se. Just say we're going to change direction briefly, but it was clearly a build. They didn't know what quite worked. Build, and now we've got season 3.
Ooh, Shannon, you gotta watch it all. Watch it all. Watch all of DS9. She said she still can't get into it. Just meh.
And I'm excited though to go in and review these things with you, because we have a totally different perspective. It'll be totally different experience. That and Voyager. Well, I know Voyager a lot better. DS9, but I know the Dominion War stuff pretty damn well, even though it bleeds in to 20 episodes chunk. What happens each one? I know there's 20. Yes. Yeah. Okay, that is definitely a surprise, Stuart. I'm gonna say you curveballed me. You curveballed me already. Yes. Words.
Sweet. Dementia, $5. Cisco canonically plays hopscotch. It's truly awful.
Yeah.
Oh, Move Along Home, all of you. All right, Samuel.
Someone wrote that in a script, and maybe that writers hated the cast, and just said, if I make him do this, I'll get fired. Shit, they did it. I'm not fired. That was my big play. Nice.
All right, okay. What's your number 8?
Let's see what I said. I can't quite remember. My number 8 is Prodigy.
I forget my list completely.
My number 8 is Prodigy.
Oh, it is.
Because, in fairness, while I'm enjoying the first 5 in theory, more than Discovery and Picard, it's unfair to give it higher than that because we haven't actually seen the entire season yet. So again, technicality here of you can't judge it yet, but it's definitely a higher quality season than those other 2, easily. Just from a technical perspective, a character perspective, a story perspective, hasn't got going yet. But also, and in fairness, they've got a 20-episode season, so there's a lot more season to come. So if this is the first 5, good job, and they've got a lot already achieved in the character realm. But can't give it too much higher because we haven't really seen more. So.
Well, I kind of disagree. I mean, for me, it's just all about rewatchability. Like, I groan when I have to watch season 1 of DS9.
When do you ever have to watch it?
Me and Sylvia will just do like we want to rewatch this series.
You will watch this, Stuart.
I don't know.
She grabs the phaser holster and says, Stuart, don't we get out the phaser? You'll watch it with me.
Yeah. And Prodigy's fun. I really enjoy watching Prodigy, so I'd much rather watch it than DS9 so far. So that's my thinking on that. So,
But do you understand my
Mark
logic
Lawrence. Yes, I absolutely do. But I didn't put that into my equation. Mine was more of what I've seen so far versus how much I want to rewatch it, and just my enjoyment factor. So I know we haven't seen the whole season, obviously, but yeah.
And I also wouldn't necessarily want to rewatch them yet because they're so fresh and like slim in content. Yet, because until we get to the point where you can rewatch and see the ties. But definitely enjoy them more than Discovery and Picard. And I can say that the first 5 of these are better than the first 5 of those 2 shows. So that's, yeah.
Mark Lawrence, $5. I guess DS9 is one of my favorites because it got outside of the utopia of the Federation, and I really can identify with O'Brien. Laughy face. Are you saying that your wife is like Keiko? We've met your wife, and she's a sweet, nice woman. She's not Keiko, O'Brien. I'm sorry.
And yes, Now Visitor is great as Nerys. They're all great. The entire cast is great. They're very, very lucky cast to have got them all. Okay, there you go.
All right, so we're going on number 7. My number 7 is the animated series. Really enjoyed the animated series. It was one of those things I never really saw all of till I was older and actually got the whole collection because it was one of those things you go to a convention, you can see the tapes, and there's like 2 episodes per tape. And I kind of based what tapes I bought on the cover art with or the back art of the episode. So I picked the ship ones. So like the one with the Bonaventure and stuff like that. So I had like 3 or 4 of the tapes. I didn't have the whole show. And
we had 3 episodes.
Yeah, exactly. But just the fact that the original voice actors, it feels like TOS. It's written by the same writers as TOS. There's some pretty interesting concepts and ideas in it, and it's Star Trek. It really feels like watching lost episodes of the original series. Like you can picture the actual actors in your head because their voices are exactly the same. The only thing that bothers me about it is the soundtrack. I hate the soundtrack. I hate the intro music. It's just fucking god awful. The animation, I don't even mind. People complain about the Filmation animation. I kind of like it. I grew up with He-Man, which is the same kind of thing. They got the mocap stuff going on. Some of it looks silly, yes, and they do cut corners by like having like somebody's hand over their mouth when they're talking to, save on animation costs. But overall, I think the animated series, if you haven't checked it out, and a lot of people still haven't, I say give it a watch. Really good stories and stuff as well, written by original writers.
And again, super excited for us to do a review of it. Won't take very long, but that'll be a really interesting.
Yeah.
Like when we've done the one we have done, we noticed that the Spock was on the bridge even though he wasn't because of plot hole because they reused. So there's things that was wrong with it, like objectively it's wrong. It's like but it was cheap.
Yeah. And Mark Lawrence says, no, my wife is a teacher. We've got 2 kids. I've been through hell, and I damn just fixed that. There you go. Well, there you go. All right. Don't compare your wife to Keiko O'Brien. That's just awful. Now, before we get into your number 7, Totally Random Reviews puts in $5 and says, I'm going to have to watch later because of work. Sad face.
Well,
this
hello,
is my list.
hello, future you, or present
10
you.
Discovery, 9 Picard, 8 the animated series, 7 TOS, 5 Prodigy, 4 Enterprise, 3 TNG, 2 Voyager, and 1 Lower Decks. So there you go. We're getting some good lists. Please super chat your list if you want us to read them on the air. We really appreciate it. Craig S23 puts in £2. Anyone need a drink after discussing Star Trek Picard or Star Trek Discovery? I did. I took a shot of my peach Crown Royal. I probably won't take another one because now we're getting into good discussions and stuff. So,
well, let's jump back for a second. I did explicitly say that one of the biggest problems that they were literally rewritten on the fly almost, but they're filming Picard season 2 and 3 at the same time, or at least back to back, which implies fully thought out story. And they clearly have a lot of stuff in season 3 of Discovery that's already paid off in season 4, so clearly was thought out to some extent. So they benefiting instantly from being actually thought out.
And we've both heard from people that season 2 and 3 of Picard are going to be a lot better. This is what we want to see.
Although obviously a lot better. The bar is literally the lowest on the totem pole, so the bar is very low. Better. Yeah, exactly. Just have him feel like Picard. It's really not.
I want to add a thing to the thing. Anybody super chats $20, I'll have a shot.
Ooh.
Doesn't matter what you say in your $20 super chat, but I'll take a shot for each $20, just because I don't have anything to do tonight. And
I mean, you can do a drink live after this if you want, Stuart.
I can do one later, maybe.
Do a truth or drink. I know people like to make use. I mean, have fun.
But anyway, just that's out there, guys. If you want to.
Because now you can do costume changes and everything. You know, you're Mr. Fancy now.
I can't quite yet because things are still disorganized. But and we have 73 likes with 83 people here. Let's get 2 more likes. Get to 75. Please hit that like button, guys.
Yes.
But here's the bottle. $20. I don't. Anyway, so we're going on to Marco Van Osh's super chat.
What a smooth tangent there.
It's interesting how the 2 best shows, in my opinion, being TNG and DS9, have such mediocre first seasons. Very nice idea. Top 10, by the way, guys. Well, it's Samuel's idea, so thank him for that. Awesome.
Want something just really classic for us to talk about, like just. Yeah. And
it washes our brain of the Discovery shit we're talking about for the last. Like, they're better, but it's still, we don't want to talk about it. But yes, TNG and DS9 are 2 of the best shows and first seasons are arguably not super great. Although we just watched TNG, and it wasn't as bad as I remembered. It was actually pretty good. So, yeah there's that.
Yeah. Oh my God.
All right, so now it's time for your number 7.
No, it's not. It's time for some alcohol.
Oh shit! Dementia, $20. If you take a shot, you agree that Delancey's performance as Discord in My Little Pony was better than his appearance as Q in Lower Decks.
And you've now obligated yourself the drink.
I didn't know he was in My Little Pony, but that's disturbing. All right, so thank you very much. Shot. Thank you so much. It's not quite a full shot, but that's okay. But yes, his appearance in Lower Decks wasn't great. It was very short and just sort of meh.
Yeah.
All right, now we get into Samuel's number 7, finally.
Hello, I'm here too. Although that was aggressive, that does make a big difference. Yes, my number 7 is Short Treks Season 1. All 4 episodes of Short Trek Season 1. And again, I've got a reason for this. Because you can actually judge it fully, because it all came out. Right? Which helps. You got Runaway, Calypso, Bright Star, Escape Artist. Calypso, genuinely good. Runaway, not so good.
Hope it ties into something.
There you go. Escape Artist is the mud one, is it not? Yeah, which was written by a man, so I appreciate it more now after the fact, and it is fun. Bright Star.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's how he got into Star Trek. He directed that. I think I wrote it as well. Yeah, I did. And Brightest Star is good. It's fine. It's a nice origin story. It's very simple. But if you look at 3 out of 4, 1 is great, 1 is good, 1 is okay, 1 is bad. That average is better than, for a full season. That's pretty good.
And everybody, like Dan Ben said it, Shannon's saying it, that Short Trek shouldn't count. I disagree.
Yeah,
it is its own thing.
You said we should put it in. I'm like, yeah, it counts as season 1. It's a full season 1. Yeah.
I just wish they would have continued with it and used it to its full potential, and they just haven't.
Because now, I'm looking at this list. I think I enjoy season 1 better as an abstract. That the 4 shorts are the average is higher. Season 2 they make so many weird mistakes. There's more money spent, but they do so many more atrocious things. So, and again, because it's just the bar is higher for the percentage of episodes, it then has to be logically better than one that hasn't come out yet, and better on average than the other 2 where there's lots of bad episodes. Again, we're getting to technicalities here, but these are all the weird, the weird 4, so that's my weird 4. But yeah, Short Treks. In retrospect, yeah, and one really good one does help the average a lot.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, the short tracks were a nice buffer as well leading into the next
Mhm.
season. So it was nice. It was a nice little surprise and a little bit of a treat to have those.
I mean, they were always
As
sort of
short as they
disappointing,
were.
but they were still nice to have.
Yes. 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 And I think they could do a lot of potential if they just did all the current shows that are on, just mix up, have like a season of 5 or 6 of them with different of the shows. Like that'd be great. Kind of like an anthology thing. So, anywho,
So there you go.
we're moving on to my number 6. My number 6 is TNG.
Ooh.
Sure, people are gonna scream and bitch and whine,
Scream
but
and shout
it's
and
not.
let it all out.
TNG is season 1 is not as bad as everybody remembers. Trust us, we watched it, we reviewed it. Go back and watch those.
Very in
There's
depth.
a lot of great episodes. Problem is, a lot of them do suffer from the Star Trek Phase 2 scripting, and you can tell. Obviously, scripts made for more of a Spock and Kirk and Bones dynamic. However, it was still better than I remember. And as much as I might not necessarily want to go back and rewatch them, it's always fun to do so. Because again, you know where the characters go, you know, not as different as you would think. There are some weird moments. The costuming is, you know, it is what it is. The uniforms are not as good. You see these little things, and it's rewatchable. It's good on the rewatchable scale, but it's not something I would immediately say yes, as far as I want to go rewatch that season. But when you get into it, it's not as bad as you remember. That's the thing. A lot of people always give this one shit, saying that season 1 was so bad, and it's not. I'm sorry, it's not. So that's why it's my number 6. Could be better, sure. Could be a lot worse too. And yeah, I mean, number 6 is not the best position, but there's a lot of good Trek out there and a lot of good stuff. So we'll see what's further up on my list. So
well, it's the worst of TNG, but TNG is still a great show. With its cast of characters that really benefit.
Every season except season 4 or 5. Season 4, I think, was the perfect season, pretty much. But yeah, every season has like some real stinkers in it. This one just has a few more. So yeah. But season 4, I think, was the one that was almost perfect, nearly perfect.
It had like 6 in a row that were. It had like 6 in a row that were just like absolute top tier, you know.
And there were 2 that were just kind of like, eh.
Yeah, and they were like, "This isn't season 4, huh?" I think we're still going to enjoy season 7 when we get there. It's just the bar is so high and they just don't ever reach it really. But that's different to a bar being lower and not even reaching that bar, so it's different.
Yeah, the odd episode in later seasons will definitely reach that bar, or a handful. But
yeah,
as a season consistently, I think season 4 of TNG, I think it's season 4, was the best season of Star Trek ever made. So,
I mean, you might say a DS9 season is better, but
but
given that it's not
true.
episodic, it's all one big story, and you'd be hard pressed to even differentiate the episodes at a certain point. Whereas season 4 is like, these stories are fantastic. DS9 is, I mean, it's not as Star Trek-y as TNG, so it's, you know, yeah.
And Shannon, we haven't said Voyager yet. Either one of us is not low on our lists.
Think about it.
Speaking of, we have 80 likes with 92 people here. Hit that like button, guys. Let's get up to 100 likes. Easily doable. I Am Misi throws in $5. Let's not forget that Sub Rosa is season 7. Yes.
Yeah, I'm excited to get to that one as well. That's the other Code of Honor.
Oh,
but
for different reasons.
Very
Code of Honor was just cringy. Oh, 30-something man-child, nice name, has joined the channel at the rank of Captain. Welcome, Captain. That is 2 new members for this live, so thank you so much,
Makes a
guys.
difference.
Make sure you're subscribed, do all that cool stuff, hit that like button, and thank you so much for joining.
But I think he's depressed despite clicking the button.
Why?
Well, look at his picture.
Oh.
Yeah. But he can, you know, he can help save the universe, but he'll be depressed while doing it. And he'll sit in a corner and just rust sometimes. But he can survive the entire universe of time and then come back and be fine. So, you know.
All right.
Yes.
Now it's time for Samuel's number 6.
Although on the poll briefly...
Almost at the halfway point.
Yes. as we got to all the Prime Classic Treks. I asked, is your favourite season of Trek hands down better than second favourite? 39% say yes, and 61% say they're actually pretty close, which I'm very pleased to see, because I was kind of hoping it'd be that. And I would say I'm quite similar as well. Cool. Yes, Marvin. Okay, Stuart, you throw in a poll while I talk, because I really want to, polls are fun.
I'll try to figure something out.
Yes. So my number, what do we say, 6? Yes. Well, you can react to my number 6 is first, because let's see what it is, because I've forgotten. My number 6 is DS9. So this is a weird one for me, because yes, Dan? It's a weird question. On the poll? Cool, okay. So DS9. So, okay, my logic was the characters are good, which, the character writing is good. But I went through the Memory Alpha list, I even skimmed through episodes. I can remember 3 out of this 19. They're so memorable that even through literally watching the episodes, I don't know what happened here. I don't know what happened here. I don't know what happened here. It was so nothing in my... Whereas I did skim through all of Enterprise, all of Voyager, and I'm like, oh yeah, that one, oh yeah, that one, oh yeah, that one, oh yeah, that one. And this one, none of these stand out to me, apart from a couple of, obviously, Ellen Moraine, the one with the Dora sisters, the end one. There's a couple, but really, it's so, nothing here looked interesting and jogged any sort of memory. And so, it'll get this rank because I know there is good character moments. I know you like most people, I know, Bashir does great. I know that Brian does great. I know that you like Dax. I know Quark's fun. I know there's good stuff there, but I'm scrolling thinking just none of it left an impression apparently enough to say. So it gets the lowest of my prime real estate because it just apparently didn't even. It's just nothing good that stands out, and that's not a good thing. If you skim and nothing stands out as being good.
Yep.
Whereas later
I
ones,
totally agree.
It's yes. This one's nope. I skimmed them all. Yeah. So yeah, that's why he gets my lowest of those. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm glad that it's not higher.
No.
So, yay.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I look forward to rewatching it, but there's just very little of interest in there. Because that's the thing, though. Once you bring the retroactive, you like the characters into it, it'll make all the difference. That'll help. Because every moment with them is part of a journey, whereas it's also about the stories themselves. Because you can't just judge it by the 7-year retroactiveness, which is why TNG is also a tricky thing. You've got to judge it by the interesting stories, the things that stand out, and you're not always going to remember the character moments that are small in episodes. You're going to remember the stories. And I watch Trek more for the stories than the characters on a scale. Stories didn't stand out at all, and the ones that did stand out were bad. So yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of B and C storylines in season 1 that aren't bad, but they don't stick in your memory because they didn't get enough time, or you just I don't know. I need to go back and rewatch it. I haven't watched it in a while.
Yeah.
So
that should be for us. Be fun.
Yeah. 92 likes right now with 95 people here. 8 more likes, guys, to get to 100. I'm sure that's very doable. So hit that like button if you haven't. 2 new members. If you want to join the channel, please click that join button. Check out the different tiers that are available. It helps out a huge deal. It's a monthly subscription type deal, and it helps out the YouTube algorithm as well as just supporting the channel. So if you can, please do.
And if you want to see us keep inventing content, throwing stuff at you, 200 guests, whatever, that it's essential. We can't do it without you guys' support. It's very direct, and it works. But we do need it, so thanks so much.
Jedek Productions, member for 14 months at the rank of captain, says, I just got my rank back. I dare the commander to do the Remmer salute.
Which one? Just the classic one. Because the insane one would be way too much. And do you want to just read out your poll as well, Stuart?
I can, sure. I couldn't think of anything good.
Okay.
Should short treks be considered for this ranking? Yes or no? Right now, no is leading at 69%. Yes, it's 31%.
So a giggity percent.
Giggity, giggity.
All right, you're number 5, Stuart. You're middle of the proverbial road.
I don't remember. Oh, nice. Okay, my number 5 is Enterprise.
Okay.
I remember being excited for Enterprise for multiple reasons, and yet also not. Because I talked to my brother about it, my older brother, who me and him always talk Star Trek. And before it was coming out, it's like, it can't be called Enterprise because there's no other Enterprises before the Robert Aprils, right? It's like, well, no, maybe it's, talking about, and this is me at like, however fucking old I was, 14, 15, 16, whatever. I'm like, maybe it's an enterprising idea that they're going out to explore Enterprise. No. But anyway, it broke so much in my headcanon, and it tried to ride that line between canon and not canon. It broke a lot of it, kept a lot of it. At least the team that was on board cared enough to make things kind of work, such as the design of the Enterprise, which was going to literally be an upside-down Akira until Michael and Denise Okuda and Doug Drexler are like, no, we can't do that. We got to change some things. So
it's a hard no from the art team, guys.
Yeah. So, and it was fun because every week, every episode kind of referenced the week before. Like, this is literally your first steps away from Earth. So there's not much to talk. There's not much that you have as a shared history. So yeah, you're referencing things that happened. It was great. I thought it was fun. I kind of disagree with Doug Drexler's idea of like not even running into a Klingon or an alien for like. I think that's kind of stupid. Just little rumors of them. I like the idea, but I wouldn't want to see that in a show. I think they were already kind of at that stage where they had heard rumors or whatever of certain things. Yeah. So Enterprise was fun. Obviously, having Scott Bakula on board was awesome because I loved him in Quantum Leap. And again, T'Pol being there, with Spock being the first Vulcan in Starfleet, which is. But
well, I don't think we ever thought Spock was the first Vulcan in Starfleet. Just.
Oh, we did. Me and my brothers did.
Oh.
It was the thing that was kind of a thing, even though not officially stated.
There was literally a ship full of Vulcans, and Spock wasn't exactly old.
I know.
So I know. Never got that sense.
No. Doesn't matter. Everyone else did. So it was kind of disturbing.
Just Canadians, though.
But she wasn't in Starfleet, so it's fine. Anyway, Enterprise was fun. Pretty good cast, but not very underused. But the first season is nice. Little glimpses you see of, alien planets and worlds, and even some TOS callbacks with like a Western type deal, and kind of annoying in a way because I don't really want to see Western type stuff in Star Trek. But as far as tying back to TOS, it's kind of neat. The closer you are to Earth, the more that they've maybe seen Earth and try to emulate that or whatever the situation is. It's kind of neat. So I like Enterprise more than I used to.
Well, I do think
even
that's also
season 3, which tuned me out.
I also think it's also a contrast because now you've seen Discovery and Picard. You're like, oh no, they really tried. They tried and failed to make a great show, but they did try.
Yep.
And then you cut Dylan and it's like, oh, they just wrong people tried to do the wrong thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I had some just preconceived notions and I had canon that went into it that Enterprise just kind of pissed all over. That kind of annoyed me with it. But that was my own thinking that did that. Not necessarily a bad show. So.
Okay. Interesting.
Remember for 7 months at the rank of captain, fellow captain, sir. Ooh, had to check to see how long I'd been a captain for. There you go, 7 months.
An amazing length is the answer.
And I've been a captain for 7 years. Maybe actually longer than that before Trekyards started. So, Craig S23 puts in 10 pounds. A toast on a school night. Oh my! For all your insights of the trials and tribulations for all things Star Trek, good and not so good. Appreciate your work, chaps. Cheers. Thank you very much, Craig. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
And it's a school night is irrelevant for me. My oldest is 17, and he takes care of himself, so we don't care. He does his thing. He comes home alive. We're fine. Mark Davies, £5. Everyone knows the double rummer is the best salute.
Or the one where he hits himself because it's the wrong hand. That's also pretty good.
Hmm.
Boy, what's the best season of Red Dwarf? Red Dwarf season 1 is the best season of Star Trek season 1. God,
Some people on Facebook may put Orville on their list. So.
Of course they did.
Cool.
Mike.
IMEC, before we get into your number 5, hold on. IMEC, $5. Enterprise wins the worst intro music list. No, it doesn't. The music's fantastic. It totally fits the flavor of the show. And it's perfect.
Wait, what about animated series?
Music list. You know what makes the worst intro music list? It's the animated series. That is fucking awful and not Star Trek in the least. So, no, you're absolutely wrong, IMEC.
And Mike says, am I the only one that liked Discovery Season 4 better than Enterprise Season 4? What, you like the 2 episodes better than 24? That's a bit sad. All the work spent on 24 full episodes?
Yeah.
And for me, I mean, the song's fine. Like, I never had that prejudice going on. I'm not sure why everyone did. Like, it's weird, but it's fine. I mean, you know, it's a great visual sequence. It's just a weird one, but it fits the tone. You know, I'd rather have that than the Picard Season 1 tune, which is forgettable instantly. It's not bad, it's just leaves no impression at all. Whereas all the other ones I can visualize very easily, and that one obviously especially.
All right, now we're
Thank
your
you.
halfway mark. We're at the 1 hour mark.
Well,
Perfect time for you to just roll into your number 5. So.
My number 5 is TNG. And apparently I have a season 2 picture. Oops. So this one beats DS9, but it was a kind of toss-up of which one's which, because, and that's weird to say because I don't remember much of DS9 season 1, which shows how forgettable and not good it is. I remember all of TNG season 1. We did a review it, which helps. The average, well, there's also more episodes, which does make a difference as well. But TNG is interesting because it has distinctly memorable first season episodes that you're never going to forget for various reasons. Now that is a sign of it stacks up more as a good story because you remember them. They exist more in your brain. They have more life of their own. They're more unique. Whatever. The characters also, you know, while not as good as other seasons, obviously they do come through surprisingly well. And if you're looking at better stories, I think a lot of these stories are just more interesting than the DS9 ones. And while they might not be done as well, they're more interesting and engaging. And there's many more of those in this season than DS9 season 1, even if the characters aren't quite as good. So it's a weird toss-up between the two. But just the fact this is more memorable helps. And the sets are better. The environment's better, and it's, you know, it is fun to see the evolution of how much better the sets look. But it's definitely, you know, on the low end of the spectrum of season 1s. But yes, the low bar is very low. But most of it's medium, and a couple are generally quite good. And that's, you know, for a first season to have a batting average of okay is A-okay. You know, this was the great experiment. And they had a lot of successes and a lot of pitfalls, but boy, the characters were very close to their final incarnation right from the start. Whereas by discovering Picard, they don't even know who they are really, or you don't like who they are. So yeah, I think it wins out against DS9.
Good sonation. I don't have much to add.
Yeah.
A 30-something man-child puts in £5. It says the profile pic is Marvin the paranoid android from the TV series of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Yes, quite obviously. LOL. And does Samuel now have to call me sir? I mean, he did join the channel at the rank of captain. Honestly, he's been serving a lot longer than you have, so even though you got really bumped up through the ranks, no, he doesn't have to call you sir at all.
It's like I've been given command of the Trekyards. It's like it's like Geordie in season 1, where he's given command as an ensign over everyone else. It's like why are you giving orders to the commander? Because you're put in charge of the bridge. So not this time. Oh, General Grievous is here. Hi, General Grievous. Good to see you.
Mm-hmm. Very good to see you.
But yeah, like I say,
Hit that
just,
like button, guys, if you're just joining us.
obviously, I know you also done the same level, just different, but more memorable and interesting stories in season 1 at least than DS9 season 1.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It was like the return to Trek after how many years? And DS9 was kind of like, oh, now we're here. And the stories are just awful in DS9. Sorry.
Nice.
So.
All right, cool. All right, your number
My number
5.
4.
4.
My number 4.
Yes, number 4.
Yep.
So, yes.
My number 4 is Voyager.
Ah.
I really enjoyed Voyager. I wasn't a fan of the caretaker thing. Episode 1 was good. Episode 2, not so much for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That.
And just season 1 of a new ship, a new crew, not the Enterprise, going out and exploring and seeing cool stuff in a different quadrant. The potential show possibilities were amazing, and I think they really kind of came through with Voyager. I don't know why people hate on Voyager so much. It's not bad, and I don't understand the hatred for it, so please stop it, guys. But yeah, Voyager it was a fun ride. Season 1, I can't remember specifically a lot of the episodes in season 1. I know there's a lot of Kazon-centric stuff.
Not as much as you think.
I really enjoyed. Yeah.
Only 4, I believe.
But I really enjoyed the crew. I enjoyed the characters. Only one I really hated was Kess. I did like Neelix. I don't know why everybody has all the hate for Neelix as well. Everybody else was great though. Tuvok, Janeway. I like Janeway. Not really a fan of B'Elanna. Paris is great. Kim's awesome. Chakotay, I like him, and of course the Doctor is always awesome. So, out of the whole cast, 2 of them being people that I absolutely can't stand, that being Kess and B'Elanna. I mean, I think it's pretty good. I really enjoyed season 1. So there you go. Lots of possibilities with that one. I just wish it would have dove a little bit deeper into the we're damaged and we got to carry that on kind of trope, but it is what it is. And Shannon Murphy, the Badlands hair is at number 4. yes, her disheveled hair look that totally turns my crank is absolutely. So there you go, guys. Jarzia throws in $10.
Boom.
For me, the lows of TNG season 1 are much lower than the lows of DS9 season 1. DS9 season 1 might well have been a boring season, though. Still like Captive Pursuit. I did enjoy Progress, and Duet is excellent. Duet's not in season 1, so.
And as we did say, the lows of season 1 are worse than TNG, but that doesn't mean the average isn't better. Because the highs are not necessarily better, but the average is higher.
Yeah, there's a lot better shit going on in TNG, and yeah, there's some lows in TNG, but across the board, DS9 season 1 is just mediocre at best.
Well, and we also looked at it, and
there's no real good ones.
There was like 3 real lows, and then like 6 medium lows, and then 5 mediums, and then 4. You know, there's not many lows. The lows are bad, but yes.
General Grievous, $2. Tuvok is a good character and successor to Spock. Yes, Tuvok's fantastic. I love the character of Tuvok.
Yeah, he's probably the best Vulcan. He's actually a full Vulcan. Like, we don't really ever see full Vulcans, and he got 7 years of love and attention, and Tim Russ did a phenomenal job. Yeah, the ultimate Vulcan, really.
It's one of those instances I like the character. Not a huge fan of the actor personally. So
I know you're not.
Which is a shame. It is.
My number 4, though, Stuart, is Enterprise.
We're just like jockeying for position here. We're like just slightly off.
Yeah, because this one beats TNG for me. Because when I saw it last year, I went through every single episode skimming to try and regain the visuals. And I remember a lot of this season, way more. And they benefit from having. So for me, Enterprise is much more vanilla than the other treks. which is surprising. Had come from Voyager, which for me is a much more interesting show. So to make such a vanilla show, but having reskimmed it, some of the concepts are interesting, and that generates some interesting stories. It's just how they utilize the characters that don't necessarily give the best out of that. As we know, although as I was skimming this, that you do remember some of those really, really good moments of the characters as well. But the Suliban are interesting concept. The ending's really strong, even though it's not quite paid off properly. There's a few I barely remember, but that's probably because I missed them maybe on the first run or whatever. But there were definitely more memorable, interesting ones, and the one introduced to Shran is very strong, and the Pagem stuff with the Vulcans. There's some they clearly had like 7 or 8 like genuinely good ideas when they're brainstorming that they threw in, and then they had other ideas that didn't quite work, and other ideas that just weren't so good. But they had a few really sort of like And if only had been a better cast, who had more distinct characters, would have been better overall. That's not the actors, that's just them not knowing how to use these people, or having maybe too many actors to have enough screen time. But the fact that the batting average is higher than TNG Season 1, and more memorable than DS9 Season 1, for sure. But it's way more vanilla, and that's when a case of like the overall average is higher, but that's because it doesn't really dip below very much. But there's not really any standouts in Season 1 particularly. I think there's like 2 or 3, but 2 or 3 out of 24 isn't a high average.
Yeah.
But there isn't really any bad stuff. But it's definitely one that would be interesting to rewatch, because they did try hard. They just didn't know where they were going. It really should have started with Season 3. If it started with Season 3, this big bold move, boom, then it would have been such a more powerful season. But it started on such a wet blanket note. But if you take some sub-episodes, and little Trek stories are actually quite good. So it's but it beats TNG DS9 because it just has a better batting average and some more memorable pieces of content that just, yeah. Yeah.
Funny you say you should start on Season 3, because Season 3 is where I got totally turned off and left. Although going back and rewatching it now, it is really good. But at the time, just being a Star Trek fan, I don't think that would have worked. I don't know. I see what you're saying, but yeah. What do we say here? Jars, you get $2. Duet is absolutely Season 1. Check it out. Yes, I did check it. It is Season 1. Absolutely hate Duet anyway.
Which one's Duet?
Kira.
Oh, is it when she fights the
her
Power
and some
person?
war criminal guy.
Oh, you mean the Cardassian guy? Oh, yes, I like that one.
Cardassian suffering from Kalanora disease that
It's like you're not.
In case he was in a labor.
You're not this guy you say you are. You're actually the mass murderer that's killed all of my people, pretty much. Hashtag you're not getting out of here. Well, I'm dying anyway. Yeah, that was good.
It's a good story. That's another one of those ones like Inner Light and the City on Edge of Forever. Fantastic story. Just it doesn't fit. It doesn't need Star Trek attached to it to be a good story. Just I'm not a fan of Kira. So. Child puts in 2 pounds. Promote the commander. It's almost like Harry Kim. I don't know. I remember like Riker being commander for 7 years. Sure, he was offered some promotions. He just didn't take them. So I don't think you guys understand the captain commander thing. Like
the regulars do. The regulars do.
I know. I really get annoyed with the whole promote the commander bullshit. Like, there, you're captain. There, you're promoted. Congratulations.
Thanks.
See?
Appreciate it.
Is that fun?
Made my day. Thank you.
Seems like it.
I didn't feel forced at all. So yeah, there you go.
Moving on.
And as a happy bronze for me, I think in retrospect, looking through them, yeah, pretty comfortably, number 3 or 4. I mean,
4, yeah.
One off
So
bronze.
now we're moving into our top 3.
Yes.
Gold, silver, and bronze.
And I do think these are clearly the top 3. Like the level of these 3 do stand above my 4, 5, and 6. Like distinctly above.
Yeah, depending on the day, my mood, some jockeying could take place here, but these are for entertainment value and rewatchability for me.
And
Trek. Getting into these, so
and Trek value as well.
And Trekness. Yes. Yeah.
You're number 3. Bronze place.
Speaking of, guys, this is a good time, real quick.
Yes.
Hit that like button if you haven't. Another 15 to get to 120. keep the super chats coming. Let us know what you think our number 1, 2, and 3 might
That
be.
is true.
Let us know yours.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. What is our number 1 going to be? Well, actually, you know what I'm going to do? Actually, I'm going to end this poll. Read out the results in a second. I'll put in, because we know which are our last 3.
Do we?
Okay, we'll do our last 3, and then we'll do number 1. We'll see. We'll do a poll for see if who can work out our number 1, number 2. See if they can guess which one's which for us. But you said short treks, and most people said no.
Well, they're wrong. So
Did it anyway.
Yes. So leading into my number 3, my bronze.
Yes.
Is Prodigy.
Shit, man.
I loved the lead up to Prodigy. I love the idea of Prodigy.
The lead up to Prodigy.
Not disappointed. Yeah.
Okay. So actually, how good the first season is, the lead up to a first season. Okay.
I was excited about when I first saw the ship. When I first saw, like, I haven't waned at all in my excitement for this show. So that's what I mean. Like, I love the art design. I love I love everything about it. I love the fact that Janeway is there. I love the ship. I love the characters overall are fantastic. Even though Dal kind of pissed me off in one episode, but I get it. It's because of his age. It's fine. Mm-hmm. It's just a fun ride. It's got that Transformers Prime aesthetic that I think kind of draws me in as well. And then like Dreadnought and stuff with the transformable ability, and the ship itself transforms. I'm a huge Transformers fan, so I think a lot of it speaks to my inner child, and I've really been enjoying every episode so far. So we have 15 more episodes to go, which is awesome, and I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of it. But so far, from what I've seen, I really like this. Rewatchability factor is way up there for me, and yeah, I'm a kid at heart. I don't know if that shows in this case, but I really don't care.
I don't know if anyone noticed that or not.
Right? Visit my house, see my collection. You'll know I'm a kid at heart.
I mean, there's enough Captain's logs where you show the ship, but you show the house. People have seen. People know. I actually forgot that was Prodigy. Still left to be done on your list. I was like, I didn't even consider that would be.
That's why when you said we know what's left, and I'm like, do you?
Apparently not.
Yeah.
I take back my assertion. It was wrong.
Yeah, that's my number 3. Okay. I know it surprises a lot of people, and I really don't give a shit. I really enjoy it, and I'm going to continue to enjoy this show. I don't think it can really let me down at this point. A lot of the shows going into, I've been like, oh, I'm excited. Oh, wait a minute, that doesn't look right. Oh, I'm excited. Oh, wait. You know, it's been that up and down roller coaster. This one has consistently, like, I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this. It gets better and better and build up, and then you see it. And it's like, holy shit. Thank you. So, there you go.
All right. Look at you, kid in the candy store. That's the vibes giving me right now. Cute.
And General Grievous, or Dreadnought, puts in $2. It says the captain liked Prodigy because of me. Confirmed. It's true. It's a true fact.
Yes. Okay. Cool.
Don't forget, guys, $20 super chat, and I'll have another shot of whiskey. Not that it matters. Casual Trekker. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, and $20 more, guys. We're getting close.
Yes. At least another 22. Yeah, would be great. And 10 more legs. Casual Trekker, $5. Will you guys do a video on the alternate future where Janeway didn't get back in 7 years, and how Picard and Prodigy would unfold in theory in that time?
Very interesting idea. Although we'd need to know more about the Picard storyline and the Prodigy storyline, because we couldn't guess about Prodigy yet. And Picard is so different. Like, he was probably still around at that point. And certainly wasn't any Romulus destruction, because that was a JJ invention. That'd be a lot of, like, assumptions going in. But this is an interesting idea. Interesting idea. Cool.
So, what's your bronze? What's your third place?
And an easy bronze for me is Voyager. Easy bronze. Because I rewatched season 1 while I was doing the CG modelling texturing for the Voyager bridge. And I was astounded by how good it was. You know, people complain about this DS9 TNG season 1, And this easily beats those 2 seasons. Like, not even a question. Almost every episode has a really interesting, well thought out sci-fi concept that actually are still interesting now. And I scrolled through them like, that's good, that's good, that's good, that's good. And while the Kazon Minor worked fully well, the Vidians don't necessarily work fully well, the concept of both are interesting. The makeup is really, really fantastic. The CGI, or the model CGI, is still good. It still holds up better than, as in, like, it's more ambitious than TNG, so they achieve some more interesting things. The sets are fantastic. The money's clearly put in. The uniforms work really well. The characters are given some time each, but not a lot, but enough to like them all from the first season, at least in theory, unless you personally don't like them as people. And they're clearly really trying. You know, it's about exploration, it's about science, it's about going and doing. It's very, very Star Trek, very, very TNG, but with almost universally interesting story concepts and some really interesting concepts. So just on a story level, hands down beats DS9, and TNG. The average is so much higher than TNG season 1. And I always thought it was not as good like everyone else, but having rewatched it, no, it's easily third best, like easily better than Enterprise, because Enterprise is with some good stuff. Mm-hmm. This is most of it's in, maybe not the best. Maybe they're not the best of their done episodes. Like, they could have been better if they were done later on, but some really good. Like, you could tell they had a genuine, like, writers' room of, like, okay, what can we do? We might only get 1 season. Let's throw some really good shit in, and they did. They just weren't experienced enough to make them as good as they could have at that point. And if any of those episodes, like story ideas, were in season 5 or 6, they'd be much better, but they'd still be good stories. So, yeah, easy third.
Mm-hmm. Now, people will be upset and complain that we put Voyager above TNG for both of us, but honestly, first season wise, there's no comparison.
Yeah, no comparison.
They have a structured idea of what they're doing, and
there's even some arcs with Seska and the Kazon, which is nice, and it carries over. So there is a single episode continuity, there's multiple episode continuity, there's a bit of growth with everyone.
TNG was very episodic and pulling in scripts from Phase 2 to kind of buffer that and sees across. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, I Am Misi throws in 20.
Boom.
All the new first seasons and all Star Trek in general has been improved since I started watching your videos and lives concurrently. It really enhances the shows. Thank you. Oh, thank you for that compliment. That's awesome. I am going to pour myself a shot for that because it's $20.
That's So a double victory there. Fantastic.
And Jarzia throws in $5.
Thank you.
Aside from a couple of duds and a mediocre finale, Voyager Season 1 is great. Faces, Eye of the Needle, Caretaker, and Jetrel were excellent, and more yet were good. Cheers. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Got some really good stories in it.
30-something man-child. What's in 2 pounds? No offense intended. Been a subscriber for years. No offense. What did you offend? What? None taken?
About being I should have been promoted.
Oh.
It's all good.
I always say that things get under my skin and annoy me, and it's not that it's offensive to me. It's just I hear it constantly. Like, you guys tune into the odd live and hear the odd thing here and there. But when we're doing this constantly 24/7, hearing the same thing over and over and over again gets really grating. So.
Okay, I'm going to put a poll, and I have to do it before you say anything, because otherwise it ruin the poll. Quick votes, guys. I want to give you like 2 minutes to vote right now. Which did Stuart vote is number 1, TOS or Lower Decks?
Ooh.
Because I don't know. I don't. I want to know what you guys think. It is a toss-up. Please vote, guys. Vote now, forever hold your vote. Until we do the reverse, and I'll put mine in after.
I'm interested to see which one yours is, because those are the only 2 left for each of our lists.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
I think I know what your number 1 is.
Okay. I want to know what the audience think. Vote now. Vote in the poll. Vote in the poll.
Yes, I'm interested too.
Yes. And of course, guys, this week we are doing... I'm here this Friday, this week, so we'll do a normal Friday, I believe. You're around?
Yes.
Yes. And then the weekend after, I am here. For the week after that, I'm in London on Friday. So that'll be a Thursday. So that's on the 17th. It'll be on the 16th. And then
I have another Christmas party to go to, so it's fine.
And then we have Christmas and New Year time, because it comes out on Christmas Eve's Eve. But I'm also at my grandma's on Christmas Eve's Eve. But I'm going to come back. Just means I've got to watch it, review it with you, and do all the editing on Eve's Eve. And alive.
Oof.
So like have Christmas Eve off. So that's going to be a thing.
Yeah, you got to give us some slack over the holidays, guys, because wait a minute.
Like, we're still going to get the Edge review at least out, because we can always make time for that, because, you know. And then the week after, straight away, is New Year's Eve's Eve and then New Year's Eve. Again, both won't be doing lives on New Year's Eve. I'm not going to spend my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 talking about Discovery Season 4, Episode 5. So, yeah. But guys, please vote in the poll. I want 65 votes, and then we'll swap and see. So guys, vote. Please vote, and then Stuart can reveal his thing. And we're on the $21 in Super Chats, which would be really, 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 really helpful, guys, in this month. Kind of the closing of our month. Would mean a lot to us, and 8 more likes. I want to see 5 more votes, though, in the poll. Do you think Stuart's number 1 in this is going to be TOS or Lower Decks? That's not necessarily saying what do you think's best. What do you think Stuart, the man himself, the legend, the life of the party, the living legend, the living captain, the radical man, the jazz hands, the man that told us all that the Titan shuttles are all jazz musicians. You know, he's that guy.
I mean, the Titan shuttles are named after jazz musicians.
They are. I mean, you told me that, Stuart. What do you mean?
What?
Oh, you didn't know?
No, I said I didn't know what they were named after.
Oh, so you said maybe they...
That's what caused all this bullshit.
Alright, do I get 65 votes yet? 61. Okay, that's probably fine. So 64% of audience say TOS and 36 say Lower Decks. I will just quickly swap that poll to my version, and then we can talk your version. Okay. So there's 2/3 say TOS, Stuart. That is the... Oh, shut up, Dan. Shut up. No. No! I mean, they probably will, but shut up. No!
They will, but you might have to wait for a reaction to it, so...
Okay, what's Sam? Okay, now you can vote
guys,
online.
3 more likes. Hit that like button. Yeah, keep the super chats coming. Last super chat slot's still there. Let us know about your top 1 or 2, 3 season 1s. Please do.
What is your
what is Samuel's number 1? TOS or Lower Decks?
So what's your number 2, Stuart?
We'll let them vote while I talk. Okay, cool.
Everyone voted TOS, therefore this might be Lower Decks according to the audience. Let's see what it is you said it's going to be.
My number is Lower Decks.
Hey! The audience was right.
Yeah.
I think
There's so much Star Trek in Lower Decks, it's not even funny.
Every
References to the animated series.
Gets a cookie. Well done, audience.
Yeah. References the animated series to everything Star Trek. Mike McMahon is a huge fan. His whole crew is a fan of the shows, and it really is shown on screen with what they do. They really they love this stuff. They make it look like it's supposed to. They don't deviate. They make sure that things are legit on task as far as how things should look, and I really appreciate that. They care about it. And the references are fantastic. Like they're showing the animated series with the animated characters. That's cool. That's just downright cool. It is the most Star Trek of all the Star Trek shows, absolutely, hands down. But there's a reason it's my number 2, which we'll get into when I talk about my number 1. But it's just a great show, and we weren't sure how this was going to hit, what it was going to be like, and once it started, we just loved it. Every episode was just a fantastic feeling, and ended so, like, if you ended feeling happy, feeling like you saw something that was really good. To get the little inside jokes, the little small little visual cues, the small little audio nuggets that they leave in there, and to feel like you got them and you know them, makes you feel super smart. Some you recognize but you're not sure about, so you look them up, and it's always fun. You either like feel like you're on top of the world knowing everything Star Trek, or you get surprised or like reminded of something. So it's always an interesting trip watching a Lower Decks episode. And season 1 was just boom. Like, it started out with a bang, and it hasn't really changed since. And thank God for that. If it just gets better and better, and it gets better, like hits the trend of being like season 3 is where the show actually gets good, we can expect so much great stuff from season 3. But it's already started out good. They've had so many series over the years to watch and to see and to learn from, that they just hit the ground running, and it definitely shows. So, boom, baby, Lower Decks, silver. Yeah.
Well, the audience was right. Although Jay, I'll read out his list. He says my number 1 is Deep Space Nine.
For first season,
Mm-hmm.
You're off. That's just awful. Sorry. My favorite Star Trek series of all time is Deep Space Nine, but that was not anywhere near number 1 for season 1. Sorry.
And
But
just to know his just know his other, so you know his context. Number 2 is Voyager. Number 3 is TNG. Number 4 is TOS. Number 5 is Animated Series. Number 6 is Enterprise. 7 is Prodigy. 8 is Picard, and 9 Lower Decks. Oh my god! And 10 is Discovery. So his number 9 is your number 1, Stuart. That's hoo-wee!
Jay, I'm disappointed, man. I haven't talked to Jay in a long time. I'm disappointed. We're not talking about favorite series. We're talking about favorite season 1s.
Although to have him say Lower Decks is number 9 is also a travesty. It's not the 9th worst of the Trek series.
No, by any means, especially for season 1. Dude, as far as series go, I can understand your list a little bit better.
Still would make sense though.
But still, dude. Love you, Jay, but no.
So I drew that out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Cool.
All right, well, let's check this poll. I'll read the poll results here. What do we got going on?
Keep voting, guys, quickly.
49 votes. So let's get at least over 50. Somebody else vote on this thing.
Vote on the poll. What
is Samuel's number 1 favorites? First place, best season 1, TOS or Lower Decks? We have 50 votes now. I'm going to call it there.
Yeah.
68% say Lower Decks. 32% say TOS. So very similar in percentages to mine.
Just flipped. Interesting, because you're a TOS boy. I'm a post TOS boy.
Yeah.
Which arguably means I'm like, by that exact wordage, I'm every part of Trek history. You're 2 things or 3 things. It's like not quite a fair comparison, but.
Well, before you get into yours, let's let them stew for a minute and think about it. Mark Lawrence throws in $5. Maybe Lower Decks will finally show us Tellar.
Ooh,
we've seen the other 3 founding worlds, just not Tellar. Yes, absolutely.
Although Jay does clarify, he says my favorite season 1 is TOS.
Perfect. Yep, that matches.
Okay.
That tracks.
Bit more okay. Your other list.
I feel better now, Jay.
Okay.
General Grievous, $5. Season 1 and 2 of Disco is ranked below a wide awake colonoscopy performed by Angry Duras sisters, followed by a wisdom tooth extraction by them. Why not at the same time? One on one end, one on the other. But and not having their nice little open, mid-cleavage shirts.
But the problem is, after all that pain, which they think is a turn-on, they'll seduce you. So you get to bang some Duras sisters after you deal with this. And they just think they're foreplay.
You only want to bang one of them.
Why?
There's only one that's attractive. That's
a whole different. Sure, it's a different discussion. It's a whole different live discussion.
I know, but I would not bang both Duras sisters. I'm sorry.
Let's be fair. They'd bang you. You have no consent to be an issue there, because it's like, okay, you're more powerful than I am. I mean, come on. They're
the ceremonial bang hammer. Ugh. Moving. Well, no, sir. Well, hold on. Sergeant Montgomery, $2.
Ah.
Yeah, TOS Enterprise Voyager, 15 episode. Lower Decks, TNG, Prodigy, DS9, Stargate. What's SG? And the animated series. I don't know what SG is, so sorry.
But okay, interesting. Enterprise. Okay, my number 2, the poll thought I was going to pick Lower Decks, and I'm picking Lower Decks. Yes. It's yeah. This top 3 were easy for me going in.
Yeah, the top 3 were right. Boom, and then it just went from there.
Yeah, and as I said to you obviously earlier, the other ones had some technicalities which changed the ordering. If I said I could just re-download all the episodes in my brain, I could give a very technical like, well, 7 here are better than. But no, Lower Decks. I mean, it's better than Voyager because the first season has very few misses, and the final 3 are extraordinary. And the first one's great for me, and there's very few not so good. So the batting average that it is so high is just like season 3 level TNG occasionally in their season 1. Which you are not by default making a bad first season of a TV show. Why are you spending 50 million knowing you're gonna make some bad episodes? Just make them all good. There are reasons why they turn out not so good, and these various shows for various reasons. But this one actually achieved a quality season of television, of Star Trek, and of its own unique brand of Star Trek. It's a triumph of whatever. And it could have fallen flat if the Mariner character had maintained on the same path, but as I know I said earlier on, it's a journey, so you don't like her as much at the start, but there's a journey of character. So it has the episodic, it has the season wide, it has the hints, it has the 2-season arc, it has all the stuff you want and you need from a thing, and it's the only Trek show here made by actual solid, full, lifelong Trek fans. Like first and foremost. So yeah,
that shows. Proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, it was the smash success of a Trek show that, wow. And Prodigy will probably get higher on the list depending on how the next 15 go, but we haven't seen it enough to know what the payoff is going to be. How they show Chakotay, how they show other stuff, there's all the potential in the world. I'm not removing it from that. So almost it's worth redoing a half live and just saying where is that in my list later on, because we'll see. But for this, yeah, definitely easy number 2. Easy number 2.
Cool.
Yeah.
There you go, guys. That leaves only one for each of our number 1s. So let's talk about it.
Yeah, there isn't any.
My number 1.
There really isn't any split here.
There's no competition.
No.
My number 1, my gold place is of course TOS.
I'm gonna put our pictures side by side, Stuart, because we're gonna share the number 1 slot here.
Yeah. It started it all. It was the one that kind of broke new ground as far as storytelling goes for sci-fi, and so many things that it did that were unique. And a lot of the best episodes of the TOS are in that first season. A lot of people say the 3rd season sucks. I disagree wholeheartedly. There's a lot of great episodes in the 3rd season as well. But the first season, it was breaking new ground. It was ahead of its time. And it can't be beat. 50 some odd years later, we're still talking about it. So it spawned all these other series that we've talked about in the course of this live. It is the reason, the heart, the soul, the catalyst of all of this. And just such great stories in that first season. I don't even have the list of episode 1.
I'm going to grab it when I do my version. Yeah, we can dial back on it.
I'm going to grab it too, actually, because I want to kind of talk about it real quick.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, such and great characters that, stood the test of time. Sure, a lot of the side characters, again, the main 3, a lot of the background characters, the side characters didn't get a lot to do, unfortunately. That's a story idea that I wish they could change for TOS.
But you still liked them.
Absolutely. They got enough in each episode that you got to know them a little bit. They didn't get focused on like TNG would have, but it definitely made you like them. and that's a big step. So, yeah. Let's see what we got here.
Although I can jump into my thoughts and then we can go through episodes because I think it deserves that in a second. Sound good?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
Okay.
Absolutely. Go for it.
So reasons my number one is because every other season on this list is a derivative of this one. But that, in this aspect, I mean that this is this is the only TV show in this entire list where it was made because a guy convinced a studio to make a show on an idea he had, and it had to work. Every other show was using the press of the previous one to bounce off of. This one, they didn't know they were going to get more than one season. They almost didn't. Every other show, they kind of knew, yeah, we're going to get more than one season, but we're going to. We're a Star Trek show, of course. So they had to bring it thinking one season. It's all we're ever going to get. Most seasons get cancelled. Don't become successes. We're going to bring our A game. We're going to make 26 in 1 year, which is now absolutely unheard of. That's more work than any one Discovery does per month and a year, etc. There's so much work and time and effort. And using antiquated equipment that would be harder to use. It was edited in film, whatever. The amount of quality stories, storytelling, main character work is it actually had to stand on its own. And they do. They're real stories, and because that's the thing, Gene got some of the best sci-fi writers of the era, and they still haven't really been beat, a lot of them. And this was when a lot of stuff, there was less ideas out then, so they were more unique, and obviously other sci-fis have now sponged off these as well. But Kirk is so strong, Spock is so strong, McCoy is so strong, you like Scotty a lot, you like all the other ones, you have Chapel, you have other side ones you like. It's just both a great Star Trek show, because it is Star Trek, literally and figuratively, but it was a great sci-fi, great, Lower Decks and Prodigy aren't using allegories to tell stories. I don't necessarily feel that's the most important thing in the world. You just tell a good story without the real-life political or social allegory. But they also had that in this, and yet it was not SJW-like. It was just presented in a way that worked on every level because they're being clever. It was you can appreciate the small way. It's like the early Disney films. They're adult films and kids films, distinct levels. Neither detracts or removes from the other. Now a lot of content is very much more, here's a message, look at the message, here's a message, and then here's some story, or vice versa. So, yeah, it's actually the only one that just stands out as a great season of television by itself. The only one. Mm-hmm. And it still holds up for the writing. Yes, at this point, think of it more as a theatre, a play, where the sets are low budget and the effects are what
they're very Shakespearean. All the dialogues.
Exactly. Yeah.
Even the titles are. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's theatre now, and it holds up tremendously well as that. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, just going through some of the episode or season one's episodes, we got, and I hate that the order they put them in. Mantrap shouldn't be first. Where No Man Has Gone Before is great. Charlie X is okay. Mantrap's okay. Naked Time, Enemy Within, pretty good. Mud's Women, What Little Girls Are Made Of, it's all right. Miri, it's kind of the cringy one. Dagger of the Mind is great. Carbonite Manure is fantastic. Menagerie parts 1 and 2 saved season 1. So just visiting back to the cage, so that was awesome. Conscious of the King, again, very Shakespearean, that one. Balance of Terror, fantastic episode. One of the best episodes of Star Trek, period. Shore Leave, fun premise. Galileo 7, also really fun adventure, kind of, yeah. Squire of Gothos, kind of a first introduction to like a Q-type character, fantastic. Arena, the Gorn, that's awesome. Tomorrow Was Yesterday. That's where they go back into the 60s, fantastic. Court Martial is fantastic. The whole kind of police procedural whodunit, but in Star Trek. Return of the Archons, awesome. Space Seed, of course, went on to be, followed up by Star Trek 2. This Side of Paradise, pretty good. Devil in Dark, another great one. Errand of Mercy, The Alternative Factor. City on the Edge of Forever, probably hailed by most people as the best episode of Star Trek, or up there in the top 3. So, and Operation Annihilate. So, some really groundbreaking premises with these episodes that hadn't been done before in sci-fi, and have since been done multiple times in multiple different ways and kind of emulated. So I don't know what else to say, man. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? You just threw so many fantastic. I mean, there's the batting average, and there is certainly, you can't really compare 10-episode cartoon with 26, a double the length. Of course, there'll be more minutes of quality content in 2S. That's why that can never truly win first place anyway. Even the batting average, even if all 10 are perfect, it'd be like, yeah, but 26. So as soon as you have 11 really good ones, whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's just easily the best first season of any Trek show, and it honestly puts Olens to shame, because they literally could have been cancelled for one. They had to make their first outing the best, because they might only had one. That's why a lot of these TV shows, at least in the 90s, 2000s, where it was we're going to try first season, they're like, well, that is because Once Upon a Time and Flash season 1 are both their best seasons, because they were, well, this is our best foot forward. We pitched a show, we got a contract, here we go. Arrow season 1, and now, oh damn, we've been renewed. Where do we go from here? And then they invent, and it can vary, but truly fully thought out premise. So yeah, and yes, Bajoran, yes, yeah, it wasn't low budget. It was very expensive and people. Low budget sci-fi. It was very high budget sci-fi. It's just sci-fi changed over 50 years. I wonder why. Yeah, it was groundbreaking in every way, pretty much. But so yeah, guys.
Maul says Miri is far less cringe than Charlie X. Totally disagree. 100% disagree.
Cringy in different ways, so I wouldn't want to compare them directly unless we review them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What is up with my camera?
And guys, we're $16 away from a milestone we need to hit, so that would be really fantastic. We're right there, and we were right there too, apparently. $16. Help us out, guys. We're not in the best month, but Stuart, are you going to do another one tonight? And if so, when do you think? And if so, what?
Probably not.
Okay then.
I don't know. We'll see. If I do, it'll probably be around 10:30 kind of thing. So.
Okay.
But we'll see. I don't know. I might get my drink on. Who knows?
Okay, let me just one last poll. The final poll of the night is: do you agree with our top choice? An easy way to work out if you guys are.
And keep in mind, there is that last super chat slot as well. Sergeant Montgomery currently has it, so
16
can snipe in for that. Cool.
So close.
Yeah, let's see how many votes we can get on that poll, guys. Go vote. Do you agree with our top choice of TOS? And actually, if we can get another $16, would be awesome. That'd be a fun number. So another like three $5 super chats would be amazing. So.
Yes. It's good stuff.
Anton says for me to go and do it live tonight. We'll see how I feel. Oh shit. I can't. Well, I can, but it might be at 11 o'clock. Because I have Dungeons and Dragons from 8 to 10 tonight. I forgot about that.
Fancy. How goes the adventure, Stuart?
It's going good.
What are you playing as this time?
We haven't totally killed everybody yet. What?
What are you playing as this time? What's your character?
He's a warrior.
Okay.
He's got a belt of strength and a red steel sword, which is awesome. He kicks ass. I'm the one that everybody comes to when we stumble across something that wants to kill us. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Butt needs to be kicked. And you're there, is what you're saying.
That's what the captain's for.
All right. Cool.
3 more likes, guys, if possible. Let's see what this poll's doing. But 3 more likes, let's get to 130. 34 votes on the poll, with 79% saying yes and agreeing with our top choice.
Good stuff.
21% saying no.
And then we'll jump back tomorrow for another live of some sort of topic. We'll know when you know when you know when we'll know when you'll know. This was fun, Stuart. This was fun. I'm glad we had some different ideas, which is nice.
Yeah. Squadra Course, $2. Hi all, what did I miss? Just
Yep.
kidding. Snipe. And Area 51 is trying for that last super chat slot. The originator of our first strike idea. With TOS has become just about my favorite series, and season 1 is classic. Yeah. General Grievous, $1. Iamisi throws in $16 super chat. Thank you so much. That was what we asked for, but no comments. So thank you again.
It's a very strong comment, Stuart. Very strong comment.
The statement, yes.
The statement. Wow, fantastic.
30-something man-child throws in £2. Great video, guys, but no surprise on number 1. Live long and prosper. Yeah, I think a lot of people might have thought Lower Decks could have been, though. It was up in the air as far as, well, not in my mind. Like TOS was automatically number 1. Boom. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people on the polls on Facebook were saying that Lower Decks should be number 1, and I kind of get why they say that, because it incorporates all of Star Trek. But still, it's not. No.
Yeah.
Number 2 is the best I could do with that.
Yeah, some good stuff. Cool. And I'm glad you guys agree as well.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, Darth Eddie. Absolutely. Yes, it is Area 51. It really is. Great. Well, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, Area 51's like, I really don't need to be the last. My legacy is secured. Yeah, you'll always be remembered as the originator of the first super chat strike.
The great koala sings songs of you.
Even though Ensign Ricky was our very first super chat ever. So he's got that slot. You've got the first super chat strike. So yeah, you know, people find a way to weasel their way into our lore.
As does
and
Philip.
Philip Guyett. Yeah, puts in £5. He's got the last super chat right now. So we'll call it there, guys.
Puppet Kirk. Good one.
Yeah.
No, one more snipe.
Squadra Course with $1.
Fantastic.
Sweet.
Thank you, guys. It does make all the difference. But we'll see you tomorrow. Until then, he is Captain Foley.
He is, and he is Captain Cockings because he got promoted during this live.
And
so
then...
hope everybody's happy and shuts up now.
Demoted. Oh, man. Bye, guys.